Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Mr. Abdul Abbas, your business study teacher. How are you at home and your studies? I pray that Allah should give us abundant knowledge. Inshallah, we shall continue from where we have stopped last time. We have been able to discuss proprietorship, partnership under business relations. So the third one we are going to be looking into is limited liability companies. Limited liability company. It can simply be referred to as company. Is that how you call it, limited liability companies or companies? Now, what is limited liability companies? This can be defined as a legal entity created by the association of a number of people in accordance with the law for the purpose of pulling their capital together in order to set up business venture. So let us now look at the meaning of the definition we have just read. So, limited liability company is defined as a legal entity. As I said earlier, sole proprietorship and partnership, they are not legal entities. But limited liability company is seen as a legal entity. When we say a business is a legal entity, one, the meaning to that is that the business is separated from the owner. This business is separated from the owner. Owners apart, business apart. Owners apart, business apart. Also, the business can sue and be sued in its own name. This business can sue and be sued in its own name. For example, now, First Bank as a company. First Bank is an example of a company. When one goes there, one will not find the owner there. Owner of the business will not be there. Those that can be found there, they are the managers of the company and the workers that are working there. So all the owners of the company, they are in their personal businesses. So they are not with what? They are not in the company. So that is how we say owners apart and business apart. And also the business can sue and be sued in its own name. First Bank can sue another business or another individual in their own name, in its own name. So that's what's meant by legal entity. So created by the association of a number of people meaning that those that are going to form limited liability company, they are more than one. They are many. In accordance with the law. So meaning that there is a formality or there is a law to be followed before a company can be established. So government has stated laws which every business that is going to be operating as a company must follow before they could be established. Not only that, these people that form company, they put their money together in order to set up the business. And we should not forget that the purpose of establishing the business is to make profits, nothing more. So examples of limited liability companies are Guinness Nigeria PLC, West African Book Publishers Limited, First Bank PLC, and so on. So that's that on definition of limited liability companies. So let us now look at brief way of forming company. So we said a limited liability company is regulated in Nigeria by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 1990. There is a particular section in the Constitution that regulates the formation and operation of company in Nigeria. So that's laws that regulate them. We call it Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 1990. So the companies are established by promoters. So the companies are established by promoters. Who are the promoters? Promoters are those that conceive the idea to form a company, and they now take every necessary steps to register the company with Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC). So the government agency that registers company in Nigeria is referred to as CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. So the promoters now will now make every effort in ensuring that the company is registered. And not only that, they are going to prepare documents with the help of solicitor or lawyer. So they are going to prepare documents. Not only that, the document they are prepared, they will now forward it to CAC. So after they have forwarded it, then CAC will now what grant them registration. So the document to be forwarded to CAC, they are: one, memorandum of association; two, articles of association; three, statement of nominal capital. These are the three documents to be forwarded, to be prepared and forwarded by the promoters to Corporate Affairs Commission. So after the company is registered, shares will be sold to the interested people in the society. Now, what do you mean by share? Share is the unit of capital of a company. So meaning that when we break capital into smaller units, each unit is now referred to as share. Each unit of capital is referred to as share. So that shares will now be made available to the members of public for purchase. So any member of the public that now buys these shares will now refer to them as shareholder. So shareholders will now be seen as the owner of the company. Now, in my discussion now, I have made it known that promoters are those that establish the company. So after they have established the company and they forward the required document to CAC, then the shares will now be sold to the members of public. Those that buy shares now, they will now become shareholders, and shareholders will now be owners of the company. Meaning there is a difference between establishment now and there is even between establishment and ownership. Companies are established by promoters, while ownership now is in the hand of shareholders. So that's that. So let us now move to types of limited liability companies. Types of limited liability companies. One, private limited liability companies. This is defined as one in which A, its name must end with limited or Ltd. So meaning that any company that referred to as private company, it is required by law that such a company must end their name with Ltd or limited. So must end their name with Ltd or limited. Not only that, B, it has a minimum of 2 shareholders and maximum of 50. So the minimum number of people that can start the business of private company is 2. They must not be below 2. While the maximum is 50, they must not be above 50. Minimum of 2 and maximum of 50. Not only that, see, if shares are not quoted on the floor of stock exchange, there is a place we call stock exchange. What do you mean by stock exchange? Stock exchange is the capital markets, or it's the capital market in which long-term loan is lent and borrowed. Mean that when a company is in need of money now, such a company will go to stock exchange market in raising loan that it needs. But as far as private company is concerned, the law does not permit it to go to the stock exchange market to raise loan. So they are not permitted, and their shares cannot be quoted there. So their shares are not quoted there. So when we get to second types of company, we are going to know more about that. So in a nutshell, if shares are not quoted on the floor of exchange, it's a market where long-term loan is lent and borrowed, but private company is not allowed to go there and raise loan. D, it cannot invite members of the public to buy their shares. So a private company is not allowed under the law to invite you and I to buy their shares. It's not allowed. So they cannot invite members of the public to buy their shares. Not only that, it must be registered with Corporate Affairs Commission. We have said that it must be registered with every company in Nigeria must be registered with Corporate Affairs Commission. Now, these are all what I've just said. They are the features. Now, examples of private company in Nigeria are Macmillan Nigeria Publishers Limited. So as you can see now, limited ends the name. So Macmillan now, there is a book, business study books. So we call it Macmillan Business Studies. So the publisher of the book is a private company. It's a private company, and that is the reason why limited ends its name. Not only that, West African Book Publishers Limited, West African Book Publishers Limited, that is WAP. So it's one of the textbook, we are also using for business study. So it's published by what? By West African Book Publisher, or it's also a private company. We also have another textbook, Essential Economics. It's published by Tonart Limited. Tonart Limited. Meaning that all these, they are examples of private company. We also have other examples which are into another business different from publishing books. Okay, so what we need to know is that any business that its name is ended with limited or ltd, such company is referred to as private company. So that's that on private company. Let us now move to public limited liability company, which is second type. This is defined as one in which a its name must end with plc. Its name must end with plc. Its name must end with plc. So meaning that any company in which its name is ended with plc, such a company is a public limited liability company. Examples are First Bank plc, Access Bank plc, Cadbury plc, that is the company producing Bonvita, Nestle plc, that is the company producing Milo. So all these companies now, their names are ended with plc to show that they are public limited liability companies. Not only that, B must have a minimum of 7 and with no maximum. So the minimum number of those that can start the business of public limited liability company is 7. That's according to law. But no maximum number is prescribed. The law does not prescribe any maximum number. It doesn't prescribe any maximum number. So it can be any number for their maximum, but no maximum, any maximum number is not prescribed, but the minimum number must be 7. So see now, it is allowed to invite the public to buy its shares. It is allowed under the law. Their public limited liability company now can invite members of the public to buy their shares. They are allowed. Unlike private company I just said earlier that they are not allowed, this public company is allowed to invite members of the public to buy their shares. Not only that, its shares are quoted on the floor of exchange. So meaning that shares of public company can be seen or can be got in what? In public company, in stock exchange. So meaning that public limited liability company is allowed to raise loan to finance his business from stock exchange markets. So as I said capital market or stock exchange market is the capital market where long-term loan is lent and borrowed. Stock exchange market is a market where long-term loan is lent and borrowed. What do you mean by long-term loan? Long-term loan is a loan that is repayable in maybe above 5 years. Loan that is repayable above 5 years, maybe 5 years, 10 years. So such loan is referred to as long-term loan. So public company is allowed to go to stock exchange market to raise such loan, and we have said that private company is not allowed. So it must be registered with CAC. So the meaning of CAC is Corporate Affairs Commission. Public company must be registered with them. So that's that on the features of public company. Let us now look at 3 terminologies we have written down that are being used in limited liability companies. Number 1, share. This is unit of capital owned by shareholders. We have said that when capital is breaking down into smaller units, that unit is referred to as share. So anyone that now buys shares now, one can buy more than one. One can buy 1,000 shares, 1 million shares is possible. So anyone that is able to buy the shares of the company will now become shareholders. And we have said that shareholders are the owners of the company. Not only that, dividend. Dividend is the part of profit which are distributed to the shareholders as return their investment. When we say dividend, after profit has been realized by the company, so part of the profit is going to be given to shareholders. So part of the profit of the company that is given to shareholders as a return on their investment is now referred to as dividend. Is now referred to as dividend. Part of the profits which are given to the shareholders as a return on their investment is referred to as shareholders. Then number three, promoters. We have said this earlier. These are the people who take every necessary step in forming a company. So they are the one that establish a company. They take every necessary steps. They forward the required documents to CAC, and those documents we have mentioned it earlier. They are memorandum of association, articles of association, and statement of nominal capital. These are the documents which are going to be forwarded to corporate affairs commission. So after they have forwarded this, then the company is going to be duly formed. So this is where we are going to stop today. So we pray that Allah should give us the understanding of this and should increase us in knowledge.